There is a quiet crisis playing out in our living rooms. The rules of what it means to be a man have become deeply blurred, leaving both partners stranded on opposite sides of the couch. Today's men are caught in an impossible bind. They are told to open up and be vulnerable, yet often face rejection or judgment the moment they reveal emotions without a foundation of inner strength. Women are feeling the exhaustion of this dynamic, or look back on raising their own children with a sense of missing guidance. One mother noted, "I wish I had this book 40 years ago when I was raising my son." We often treat this distance as a simple failure to communicate. The strain in these relationships actually points to a deep, unrecognized gap in how we guide boys through the process of growing up. Throughout history, cultures relied on specific social structures to help boys cross the threshold into healthy adulthood. Over time, we have slowly dismantled those exact frameworks. Now, even bringing up the unique developmental needs of boys triggers suspicion. It has become a cultural taboo, and our silence on the subject is fracturing our marriages and leaving our sons adrift. When author and speaker Martin Brossman's own marriage ended, he hit a wall. Looking closely at his life, he realized he was essentially a 34-year-old boy inhabiting an adult male's body, with a tremendous amount of inner work ahead of him. That wake-up call forced him to look for answers. He spent 12 years leading a discussion group for men of all ages, documenting the missing steps of masculinity. Healing the rift in our culture requires us to look directly at this uncomfortable subject. We have to break the silence to repair the damage. These insights were forged through the Men's Inquiry, 12 years of closed-door, confidential group work. In those rooms, men dropped their usual posturing. It provided a rare environment where they could speak in first-person truths and finally be seen by their peers without the fear of judgment. This diagram illustrates a critical warning. Deprived of a path to maturity, men fall into a psychological void. Without a solid masculine core, they polarize, sinking into a numb state, absorbed by emotions without a spine, or swinging to the opposite extreme, overcompensating through fear-driven control. Genuine strength does not just appear on its own. It demands the careful construction of a solid foundation to keep him from these destructive patterns. This framework outlines how to build that foundation. At the base, a boy requires specific inputs, the affection of mother energy, paired with the calculated risk-taking of father energy. To grow up, he needs an intentional disruption, a rite of passage forcing a break from childhood. This experience is designed to be difficult, bringing the young man into the community by testing his limits, by demanding direct accountability, and the blessing of older men. From there, he must align with an older male mentor to learn a skill, trade, or discipline, actively working his way towards true mastery. Take away these mentors, and you remove the guardrails entirely. The severe lack of positive adult male guidance is driving the deep isolation and drifting we see in young men today. This completed diagram shows that when a man successfully navigates this entire sequence, from grounding energy to challenge and mentorship, he finally reaches the peak of his maturity, capable of offering genuine compassion alongside true strength. This internal work ripples outward. When a man takes responsibility for his own maturation, the emotional climate of his relationships shifts. By establishing his core values and personal mission, he no longer looks to his partner to fix his internal chaos. He becomes a grounded presence, offering security and making room for her life to flourish alongside his. Women reading this framework report a sense of relief. It provides them with a vocabulary to finally understand the quiet struggles and unseen pressures the men in their lives have been unable to articulate. Brossman captures this in his own poetry, describing the process of striking hard into the granite to sculpt yourself distinctly, doing the heavy lifting of self-improvement without a sense of superiority, inferiority, blame, or shame. That deliberate carving of character is the mechanism that turns a dependent boy into a man capable of true partnership. Taboo, the Lost Codes of Men, serves as a bridge between the sexes. It replaces cycles of finger-pointing with a solid foundation of mutual empathy. It operates as a practical guide for mothers trying to raise healthy boys, wives looking to forge deeper connections with their husbands, and men searching for a way to stop drifting and start living with purpose. This crisis won't be resolved by broad societal shifts or policy changes alone. Real progress depends on individuals stepping into the work of maturation within their own lives and communities. It is time to break the silence surrounding male maturity. Pick up the book, pass it to someone you care about, and start having these vital conversations out in the open. Taboo, The Lost Codes of Men by Martin Brossman is available now on Amazon in paperback, hardcover, Kindle, and as an Audible audiobook.